Alrighty folks, we did this side. We got her all done. Next step is going to be doing this side. So we're going to do a little of the same. We're going to rebuild all of this and this. Come back here, we're going to cut all this out. Try to redo what we did on the other side, which seemed to work pretty easy. So fix that, dig this thing out, and then see where we go from there. Hopefully that doesn't take very long, and then we'll start on the running boards maybe, or the cab corners. I'm thinking the cab corners because the other stuff we'll be able to do on the truck would be easier to do the running boards or the steps. At least that's my thought. Anyways, kind of got a game plan, so let's get started. Hey, bud. You little antsy? You tired, eh? We'll go in a bit there, bud. Let me show everybody what we did. All right. So we zapped in this back panel. We're just going to seam seal it. It's not pretty. I'm not going to show you too much of it. We cut out the rot, and now we got to rebuild some of this stuff. And that's where we're going to be. That's where we're going to stay. And that's where we're at. It's almost 11, so I think I'm going to call it a night. Tomorrow we're going to come back. We're going to tackle this up. We're going to try to do this similar to we did the other side. So we'll do a break and I'll do the stretcher shrinker thing. We'll try to get that to work okay. These are small, simple little patches. And this is just a small sliver with an elbow. It'll get zapped on here, zapped in there. We will make this cover again for it. That'll go around here. And then again, another small little patch. We're basically just digging garbage out, and I keep finding more in there. So I don't know if I should be digging around more in there or what I should be doing. That looks like some kind of a fresh air thing. So it must get fresh air from up top, but it's getting hung up on the little vent doodad in there. So I might open this a little more and run the vacuum in there and just try to clean that stuff out. Sounds like a plan. Right, puppers? Are you done? Do you want to go inside? Let's go. Let's call it a night. All right? Let's go. This way. This way. Come on. let's see if we can do a better pattern this time. I think today's goal is we're gonna fold, get up to this edge. So make it a little bit fatter on the bottom than before. And shut that off. All right, like I said, I folded this more than before. The goal is that we can tuck and follow this mount. So this will kind of follow this edge pretty good. I feel pretty good about that. Should do this a little bit more maybe. Just so we got a little extra meat up on top. We're gonna hit this at a weird angle. It's gonna get fatter on the bottom. Anyways, we're gonna go in and we should be able to, if things go right, I should be able to squeeze this and we have more than enough meat in here to do everything. We'll mark the inside here so we can trim this a bit. I'll find my scissors, which are hiding right there. So we know this and this. We know we want this to be down here. I'll go there. I don't want it too close, but I might hoop this over. We'll do a little bit extra on the outside of all of this. Because technically wherever that thing folds, right, you're going to have to bend it. Or too much metal, let's put it that way. So see how this is all going all crinkly and wonky. We're going to fix that with some stretcher shrinker action, but right, well, see if we can do this in one shot this time. I might let this over crink inside of there just to be happy, but instead of trying to keep it straight like the top. I don't know, we'll find out. All right, plan is, I think most of this is not terrible, but I want to get it to follow this lump right now. So we're just gonna randomly stretch it here to get it to go down, to which then we'll just beat everything into shape. This is gonna need to go in a bunch more because we said we were gonna do that. So I want this here, this is gonna go here. This I think needs one of these. Got a lot going on here. All right, this needs to fold up. So we're gonna have to cut a little pie into there. I think that's about where I need that. Here's where I don't know. So I am just gonna beat stuff with a hammer and see what happens here. That I didn't really want to go there. Well, this is starting to look a little better. Well, the front's okay. We want this to tuck in a little more. I think things are working the way I want. I just got to trim a little bit off the bottom so I can weld. I do want to leave this little bit of overlap there. I don't need it all, but I want some of it there. I think that's where I screwed up last time and I had to fill it all. Isn't bad. We'll be able to zip this with the zip cut after. So first things first, I'm gonna get the top where I want, and then we're just gonna beat stuff into place till the bottom works the way I want as well. See, this is okay. All right, we got a game plan here. Sometimes you get a little, you don't get everything right. Find yourself a coat hanger, or like me, I got some welding wire. Makes it a little easier than cutting a bunch of little patches. Could use a spoon or a piece of brass, but I can't get behind there. And when you're done, the hole's filled. Well, that's not too bad. We got the worst of this junk done. We got, like I said, we did this side last time. We slowly picked away, got this one all done. I didn't dress the welds like crazy nice because, well, honestly, it, almost out of paint here. It doesn't matter, it's all hidden. So, and I don't know, it doesn't bother me. All right. So anyways, we got those done. Some paint on it. I'll probably maybe blow some blue. I'll see if I have in my paint can selection over there. If I got a blue similar, we'll kind of blow that over, some of that. But I think the next thing we're going to tackle here is these. Before I said I was going to make some, now, or I was going to buy some, but now I think I'm just going to make them. Well, we're going to leave the rocker part, but I'm going to just do, well, even this is nice. I'll beat this out. We'll see how bad this bottom is. We'll probably just, because it's only scabby in this corner here, we'll probably cut here and across. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. It's not even bad here. So I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm tackling this. We're going to start at just the rot and we're going to fix just what we need to fix. Same goes for this side. This one will be a little bit higher. Probably going to be about here, up to here. This corner is fine. And it's just this lower part. So I guess if a fella had bought a cab corner, it'd be like this big, huge. And I would have probably cut most of that out anyways. So here it's a little holey down there, but which goes a little bit further. Wish I had more sand. Should have got sand today. Could have blasted this part just to see. Whatever. We'll cut it. The lower part seems solid. We'll hit it with a wire brush and see what blows up. And then we'll start slicing, dicing in there. Well, it's not terrible. We hit it with the wire brush. I kind of did that to murder through and see where we can find the Swiss cheese that's happening. So that's actually in pretty good shape, I think, here. Like, it's only this lower portion. Like, I guess we'll make a pass. We can kind of come down or do whatever we want to do. It could go straight across up to this edge, and maybe we'll flare it off, and we'll butt the bottom piece to this line. That's going to kind of like disappear. This side, there's a small hole right here, so we'll kind of just cut above that till we get up over to this stuff, which is kind of murdered out as well. But when we cut this open, we can get in there and kind of knock that dent out, maybe. I don't know. Depends how the back panel is in there. Ouch. But then over here, we can see, because I was running the brush, we got a couple little pinholes right there, but overall, this panel's kind of in good, better, not as good shape. I don't know. I don't know. I guess the only thing we can do is like cut it out. I'll cut this little piece off. I'm going to sort of get a panel templated up that follows this and kind of see what I can do to get it to follow this down. Because it's not a step side, because we got the fleet on there, it's actually all hidden. So this panel, as far as I'm concerned, can go straight down with a small little bit of a curl. I'm okay with that. This is more the part you're going to see, because when my box was coming up, you can see where it was murdering the side here. So it doesn't do that anymore. But we know that we got to make this nice to this peak, but then it gets half hidden. So it's not really whatever. As long as we get this and this bottom profile kind of nice, it's going to be 100%. Easy. This is more important if you had the step side, and then you'd have this step sitting in here and stuff like that. So we don't have that. So we can kind of make up whatever we want in here. For all it matters, this thing could be like almost straight down and just follow the cab. Anywho, I'm gonna go in for supper. We're gonna have a bite to eat, and then I think when I get back, we're gonna tackle this thing, start cutting some random junk out and building some new stuff. I'm going to see, well, we'll probably start here, then we'll see where we are on the inside with the other garbage. But the other panel, they might be good enough up into the upper part. You can see like up here. So we might be able to just kind of just add that, like scab that to the new panel. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. I probably do want to roll it just so it's got some strength, so it's not just this floppy mess, but because the mount is up here, we can piggyback this thing to the step if we had to, just to give it a little bit of rigidity, just a little bit of strength. This one here, there's something we can kind of try to attach it to, but I don't know. We'll deal with that later. For now, we're going to deal with the outsides, then we can kind of focus on the frame, get that thing ready, and we can join these two together, and then we can work on the step and the floors. Yeah. See, we got to do the floors before. So I'm not sure. I might have to go dig out my my hospital bed yet, just so I can set this down, so we can actually probably work on that step and the floors then. Whatever. That's future me problems. All right, well, I'm starting to get fancy here. I don't know why. Anyways, what I did is I took a piece of metal. I just bent the small edge on it because it sort of matches with that corner. We kind of used the little Shape-O-Matic, whatever, those pipes. We kind of just rolled it around the pipe. And then the top part was kind of easy to shape. That one just does what a feather wants. But the bottom doesn't really want to cooperate. So all I did is I just put it in the stretcher shrinker because we had to stretch this out a bit. And it's not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with the results. The only difference now is the body line here comes this way and then it starts to go in underneath. So I'm going to trim this back a little bit, but seeing how we still have the metal on the truck and it's pretty strong, I'm going to hold this sucker all in place. And I'm just going to like beat this around the edge to start the curve. So it'll be easier when I make the second piece to come up and weld onto it. That's the idea. I'm just doing a loosey-goosey visual here of what I want. I'm just trying to curl this a little bit more, just to get a little more shape under there. To which I know screws this up, so we'll have to, oops, sorry about that. We'll have to stretch this a little more, but I've said this before, you're not going to see it, so, whoops. That was a wee bit much. Oh well. We'll deal with that in a minute. So we got here, we got a line. I don't know if I'm going to bead that or not. I really don't think I am. We've gotten around here. This edge I'd like a little more round, so we'll just do the old finger bend there. See where we get. Line everything up. I think I'll clamp it and we'll just beat things in place. I'm going to drop everything once or twice yet. My clamp is not cooperating. Let's see here. Things lining up where I want them. Yeah, more or less. Not quite. That part's good. This one's here. Now, this will probably want to move on. That's looking pretty good. So that's working out good. Down here, not so much. See how this up here, we got a bit of curve. It's all kind of doing what I want. Down here is a jumbled mess. If we just forcefully try to push things in place. I somehow think that this rocker kind of goes like this and comes up, so I'm not sure how to tackle that one. Like I say, things kind of seem in place here. So this still has the curve. I think if I trim this, we can fix it when this part comes in. I think that'll be the plan. For now, we'll just Sharpie what I think the line is supposed to be. And we'll trim it off. Well, I think I'm close enough. It's got some weird shape to it, but what I did here is it's sort of following this contour, and then this line down here, I'm just gonna weld it and we'll grind it out. It's gonna kind of follow that. Most of this does what it's supposed to do. I think I'll just try forcing it into shape and hopefully it'll work. Because it's got some domey bits, but I think it's close enough that all I did on the edge is I walked it through the stretcher shrinker, and then I kind of did this gap but also pulled it up and made a curve. And I did a little bit of the same on top, because when I held the flat sheet this was sticking away, so I took a little bit out on top. There should be more shape in the middle, and I think what I'll do is I'll run the English wheel a little bit. I was just doing the English wheel on the edges to get rid of the tooling marks, because you can see where the jaws are, they kind of chew it up a bit. But if you see the way the light shines, it's a little harsh here and here. I might just wheel it really quick, not very much, just to give it a little shape, because right now I'm forcing it around here, but when I cut this out, this won't be there to push this out, so we'll just wheel it a little bit. It's kind of like just close enough, the way I see it. Everything's kind of close. We'll have to trim this a wee bit, but we're almost there. Almost. That looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. I don't really have anything to compare it to, so I think it looks fine. I guess I could compare it to this side, and I guess it's kind of got the same thing going on. I don't know. It's close enough. It's not like getting metal finished. It'll need a little bit of schmooze on it, but I'm not going to go too crazy with it. We'll probably just finger schmooze here and here, sand it, good enough. And then on the back side, I still got a cap in the back. I'll turn some light on here. We got this upper stuff, so we're just going to gut all of this and we're just going to cap it from the inside. There's, we'll zap a couple over here, but for the most part, I don't even know if I'll do that. I might just cut that all out, cap it on the inside of from the cab when I pull the fuel tank out. We'll cap it with the floor. If I think this is flimsy, like I say, I'll run a little strut rod up into there after, because there's nothing there anyways, so. There's a body mount right here, and then there's nothing. So this one can have a little support rod, but then we don't have to worry about garbage sitting in here and rotting the thing. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think the this side I'll probably just motor right through. Pretty much showed what I was doing on that side. We still got to do some welding under here, but I'll wait till I do the other side, then I'll lift this whole thing up. I couldn't get enough curve out of this panel, so I ended up having to do some pie cuts underneath there. But hey, no big deal. We just get rid of what we need, weld them all up, be cherry. Still gotta go, like I say, there's a bunch of welding back down under here yet, but overall, the panel's pretty good as far as I'm concerned. From the side, looks the part. Win. All right. Well now, I guess I think I am just gonna burn and do this one. It's gonna be the similar process as that side, but yeah. I don't know if I'll take you along for the ride on this one. I think I can motor through that and get this done really quick if I do it myself. I think that one, actually that's pretty crazy. I think this only took me like 2 hours to do this one. So that's not bad. And it should be quicker now because I kind of have an idea what I'm doing. Oh man. Anyways, let me finish that side up and then I'll bring you guys right back. Alrighty. Well, not bad. That side went a lot quicker. What are we now? 11:30? Nah, it's probably still about 2 hours, I guess, to do this one. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. It was less time, I know that much. And some of you may have been noticing I was welding like a banshee on there, just going bananas, and like hot. There's really no warpage. I can't really explain why I'm not getting any warping, but you can see when I do weld solid, there's not a lot of heat transfer. I'm just, like I say, I'm using 2.5 wire. I'm actually on the lowest heat setting on here, and like I'm between my, you know, whatever. It kind of varies. The more I use it, you got to turn the wire speed up a little bit, but I don't have a lot of wire speed either. And I find I can weld tons, like on this side profile. Like if I was, I don't know, I'm trying to see how I can prove to you there's not a lot of warpage here. Let me switch hands. I wouldn't believe it either, honestly. But if you look at this side profile, you'll see there's really no gap in there. Like, it won't need a lot of filler. I did screw up. I'm having one-handed struggles here. I did screw up right here. So if you actually put your straight edge on there, you can see a little bit of a gap. But I mean, whatever. That's like, what, a 1/16 of a filler? I don't really care. It's a cab corner. Again, like I say, it's going to get the old finger splooge, and then that's about as good as it gets. A little schlack, sand, that's it. Like, I mean, look at the rest of the truck. I'm not going to concern myself too much with that. Anyways, we got both sides done, at least the outsides. This one, when I had the door open, I realized this is pretty. There's like a lot of extra work going on in here. Well, other than that little bit, but we got this stuff done. We'll have to address everything on the inside, but for now, it's at least cosmetically outside looks nice. I don't think I'm going to do too much more this round, but I know my hospital bed thing dolly is in the paint booth, so we're going to grab that. And we'll probably do the body boxes and the back side. I got to do some stuff in here. So I don't know. Somehow I got to figure out to flip the cab on its back, and then I can lift it up, and then we can do this stuff. Unless I can do it on the hoist, but it's probably easier if it was either, yeah, on its back, because the hood's still on it. Maybe I can lift it. I can put all my extensions on my hoist, and maybe that'll give me a bit. Or once my boxes are done, I can lift on that, then we can work in there. But either way, I think next round I'm gonna be doing floors. We got to do that stuff, get that out of the way. It's supposed to rain a bunch this weekend, so I'm probably gonna have my chassis in. I don't know if I'll be doing anything with it, but soon. I want to get the motor trans out. Probably just needle scale, because that thing's got that gravel guard on there, so that's hard to get off. I'll probably just wire wheel the chassis. We'll shoot some paint on it, at least the front half. We'll have to take the box off and do some work later, so we can do the back half later. But I want to get all this done so we can get it and the motor and stuff in, that we can get this bolted down and not have to take it back off again. That's the plan. Oh well. I didn't think we did too bad. Anyways, with that said, I think that's where we're going to leave this one. I want to thank you folks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.